thought that we needed the Amotekun at that time. So for that reason, a lot of our people can sleep with their eyes closed, knowing that the planned invasion of bandits from the north to the southwest will not happen. So I can understand how everyone feels. Everyone wants to see Ekiti back on his feet as quickly as possible, because look, the state governance has been suffering in the state since his departure. We have a deputy governor who is struggling to keep his position. The House of Assembly and some stakeholders, they are not allowing, they are desperate. They appear desperate to remove the deputy governor, as if that will put an end to all the problems confronting the state. You can imagine, even after the party leadership in Abuja intervened, we still have some characters in the house saying, yes, he's on course, he's on course. Oh, as if removing the deputy governor is guarantees their passage to eternity or to heaven. It's not a passport to go into heaven. Why are you appearing desperate that it must happen, it must happen? Or the state is suffering. Governance is suffering. You have a governor who has not come to Ondo State since he returned from foreign land. And the other one is not, no one has even seen him in public in a very long time, not to talk of doing the work of deputy governor. So, as those
lost concentration
NGOs, as remember those NGOs said, we need peace. We really need peace to reign, and we need a political solution to this matter. I believe that the APC leadership did the right thing by wading in. There is no problem, no political problem that is beyond the political solution, except something else. Yes, I think coming back one. What is power? Is what we will all live. People are behaving as if they are drunken on political power. We will all live. Power is transient. Some of yesterday's power people, when you even see them on the street, you won't recognize them. Because their time is gone. Some of the things you used to do, the way you used to put down people, if you try it when you leave power, they will spit in your face. Who are you? So people must recognize that, they must know that power is transient. God gives it and God takes it. And if you are there tomorrow, remember you will leave that place one day. So this is my view. I want normalcy to return to Ondo State, not because I'm from there, but at least I married from there. So if Ondo is suffering,
so you are suffering.
My in-laws are suffering.
Yes.
And as a person who has conscience, your
wife will be unhappy.
Yes, my wife will be unhappy. You see occasional bursts of needless anger.
Exactly.
You know? And I'm the one who will deal with it within my home. And Ayo is here too.
Exactly.
So how can my body is here, and you expect me to be happy that they have crisis in the state? I can't be happy. That's why we are saying, find a solution to this thing.
Yes. And a lot of people were even saying that Lucky should resume duty and they should act on behalf of the governor, and the party should be able to bring peace between the governor and the deputy governor.
Yeah, it's just like the state is even running on autopilot, because we can't find Lucky, can't find them Akeredolu until recently that we saw the pictures. It's just that the way the House of Assembly is going about the whole thing, they don't want peace, and which is a very serious matter, The Ondo people want governance, and it's surprising that it is even this crisis is happening within the same people who are in the same political party. is not like another party is attacking them, but
at least you can't blame the PDP.
Yes, the PDP, they are just there. In fact, they are even concerned, just like BK said, he's worried because his wife is from there. It's going to affect the PDP people because they are part of Ondo. So they need governance. So let them allow the deputy governor to come and do his work as who was a running mate to the governor then, to come out and do. That's why people are always saying that the deputy governor should have, in the constitution, should have, his own role should be spelled out. So that when such crisis, something like this happens, the deputy governor will step in and begin to do the work that he's supposed to do. And then they won't have this lacuna that we are facing now in the state. But for the House of Assembly, they have their own work, which is to legislate. Let them face it and not go into politicking and allow
oversight functions.
They have so many things.
There are so many parastatals, agencies
that
where they can do oversight functions.
They are not bothered about
that, but they are just looking at how
as if their lives depend on the movement.
The executive arm of government. Leave the executive and face your own. Let Lucky come, do his work as a deputy governor. We are not holding brief for him. But the thing is, I've
never even seen him before.
We don't know him. But we just want, because we are all affected one way or the other, because we have friends. We have people who are from that state. And sometimes they call us and they tell us, this is what is happening in the state. It's like the state is not...
No governance.
There was a day I was even telling Ayo Murade, our reporter, to do a story there. He was saying, who am I going to talk to? Because there's nobody to talk to.
It's like even in most states, once the governor is not around.
It's like nobody.
Center cannot hold it.
Understand?
Governance takes a flight. That is when you see irresponsible public officers, because the governor is not around, they too will stay away from work. It's as if you are going to work because the governor could ask of you anytime.
Exactly.
But once he's not around, they too, if they used to close late, they will stop closing late. Some will even stay away.
They won't even come.
Yes.
So now you can now imagine somebody who has been away for so long. And then the person who should actually fill the void created by his absence, you are not allowing him to work. You are harassing him with impeachment threats. And we have not had a situation in which, the Speaker of the House is made to do that job. You have just created a needless vacuum in the state. And it should bother anybody who has conscience. People think that some of these things, like some of the people who are saying, Ajide, look, take it easy. You need to convince me before I take it easy.
So how?
What do you want to achieve?
This is governance.
I've seen what you accused him of doing. You know that you are jokers. If you come up with such allegations.
All what we are interested in is peace.
Exactly.
Let's have governance, a semblance of governance. If we fail to talk about this thing, some people will attack or they say, hey, when it is a PC matter.
Exactly. We did not say anything.
I would say they will tell you when it was Obaseki.
That he kept talking about it. He kept talking about it.
Now it is Ondo State now. We are talking about it.
Yes.
It is Ondo State and we will continue to talk about it.
Yes, so whatever they do, we won't leave them alone.
Yes.
We won't leave them alone.
The State House of Assembly should leave the Deputy Governor alone. Let him do his work. We are not talking about the politics of succession.
No.
Because
we know this is what all this is.
That is why all this are having this crisis.
But for the meantime, the people of Ondo State, they deserve governance. Good governance. That's what they've elected Ekiti to do.
Yes. And unfortunately, anybody can fall sick.
Yes.
Such a good governor who has served his people very well.
Brilliant
whose
guy.
same part has been felt even beyond the state.
Exactly.
Now he has fallen sick. All of us, there's nobody who can fall sick at any time. Our prayer is that God will heal him. God will heal him beyond his own expectation.
Exactly.
He will be back on his feet to continue his work, because it is his absence that even led to this.
Yes.
He and Ayedatiwa had a very good working relationship.
relationship.
There was no need for anybody to suspect the other.
Exactly.
He was proud to mention him as someone that he would want to see succeed.
Yes.
Exactly.
Suddenly, because he's not around, some people
they
have
got
exploited
into-
that.
Yes.
And and now say, he wants the governor dead.
Yes,
Oh,
the
he's
fifth
fit.
columnist.
Who is that? Why
was
are Nigerian
physically fat.
politicians like this? When will the Nigerian politician change? That's a $1 million question. Because all of these things, they are behind it. But it bothers us when there is no progress. Go and ask, go to Ondo State or ask people on the streets. They are feeling Ekiti's absence. They are feeling it. At a time when the governor would normally want to finish strong, but ill health got in the way. And you cannot blame him. Even when he didn't feel strong, you saw that he was campaigning. He took the campaigns from zone to zone.
Exactly.
Strong man.
Campaign for his party. And Ondo State did very well.
Very well during
By
the
percentage.
Yes.
Ondo State was the best in the Southwest for APC.
Yes.
By
They
percentage.
had the best results.
Not in terms of votes cast. Percentage.
Yes.
What they delivered to APC was the best in the whole of the Southwest.
All right.
So,
All right. We'll take this breather. When we come back, we'll talk more.
In today's world, our lifestyle, both at work and at play, depends on connectivity. Our connectivity depends on the devices that make it possible, and these devices depend on electric power. When power fails, our life shrinks, our work drops, and our joy dips. JRB Solar Energy Systems are here to ensure that we enjoy uninterruptible power, uninterruptible joy. Whether you're running a business, an institution, or just a home you return daily to rest, JRB has got you covered. No project is too big for our super digital inverters, long-lasting batteries, and efficient solar panels. Go. Dream on. Change your world. JRB solar inverters, batteries, solar panels, solar streetlights, and more. Telephone 0906 752 1111. Email sales@jrbsolar.com. With JRB, the sun's gonna shine on everything you do.
All right. Thank you for staying with us. And let's go to Lagos State now, the center of excellence. One of the most difficult tasks of governance is implementing a reform. This is because it is mostly resisted by the people. The Lagos State government is facing such resistance in its demolition of illegal structures in some parts of the states. In the face of the criticism, the government said there is no going back, as its reasons for intervention are genuine. And I have joining us is the Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, that's Mr. Tokunbo Wahab. Thank you for joining us. Yes. Now, Lagos is witnessing this sudden rise in demolition of structures by governments. What informed this, Honorable Commissioner? I think our producers will still be working on that audio to establish a contact. Judy, this has been ongoing in the last for some weeks now. You will see one estate that was trending. Yes, this particular estate. Wow, and they are all going down. Some gone already, and they're all going down. Maybe the Honorable Commissioner should just unmute his. Okay, you're back.
Okay, I'm fine.
Hello,
Yes.
Honorable Commissioner.
Yes, sir.
All right. The question I ask you is that Lagos is witnessing a sudden rise in demolition of structures by the government. What informed this?
Full implementation of the law, sir. Nothing new. Now, let me give you a perspective to it. A law was passed in 2017, and it's called the Lagos State Environmental Management Law. That law stipulates everything and how to go about it and relate to the environment. People forget so soon that the environment is a master of man. It's not the other way around. We always come and leave this environment. We leave this earth, this space, whenever we're ready to depart. So when we resumed, or before we resumed, we had discussions and we had a retreat. And I remember the former governor was one of the resource persons. And the word he used, he said, welcome to hell, if you're the Commissioner for Environment in Lagos State. And he gave us a perspective to it. People are taking the laws into their hands. We are almost losing the battle. And if you don't fix your environment, there's a domino effect on virtually everything. Your budget for health ministry will have to go up because there could be outbreak of cholera or whatever, because that unhygienic environment. So our job was cut out for us. And the governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, his deputy, Dr. Kadri Obafemi Hamzat, the Speaker of the House and the 39 members made the mandate very clear. You need to fix this environment for us. So myself, my special advisor, Kunle Akodu, the 2 permanent secretaries, and the civil service structure in the ministry agreed that we have to hit the ground running. So what do we have to do? Brought out our roadmap, serve requisite notices where people had infringed, and as
I think we have that audio lost again. Waiting for them to just perfect the audio. People, multi-millionaire houses gone down, and I wonder why people want to build, if you are investing as much as 500 million naira, 800 million naira, close to $1 billion naira to build your house, to buy your land, and can't get due diligence about the history of the land.
No, this is even, it's about doing the right thing. You know? How can you build on drainage setbacks? How can you build on drainage channels, even build on setbacks? Setbacks created for, what is it called?
Water channel.
Canals. You can see those canals, you can see the setbacks. People built on the setbacks. So the commissioner is saying, look, when you get a building plan approval, you must also get a drainage approval as well. It has to go with it. Many people do not know this. It's not enough to just say, okay, I have a building plan. How about the drainage plan approval?
Okay, let's go back to the commissioner. Honorable Commissioner, I wanted to ask you how much does these threats of illegal structure constitute to the state and its residents?
You can't quantify it in material terms, in monetary terms. You can't, and I'll explain it to you. The quota, for instance. No, let me start with VGC. For 15 years, VGC had issues with the drainage, and
using his phone. When people call you, it will freeze.
Go on, let him go.
I think people are trying to call you on your phone.
They call you to freeze. You are a busy man, they will call you.
Let him go on, let him go on.
So, the legal structure going down, and it's such a pity. People are crying wolf, people are, they are reading all sorts of meaning to this today.
Yes, you cannot...
very painful.
It is for government to address those concerns. People keep their markets dirty. The market gets short because government wants them to address issues around sanitation in the marketplace. And then the market is closed for some time until they agree to abide by government regulations to keep those markets clean. We shouldn't have filthy markets all over the place. Nigerians go from here, they go to Dubai and other places to trade. Do they meet...
Go to the markets in Dubai.
The markets that are dirty. Or did anybody say the black man's market must be infinitely dirty? Nobody. We just have to tell ourselves that, look, we have to do the right thing. Markets have to set up sanitation units. It should be their job to keep the market clean at all times. And you know how you can build market men and women using that market to generate funds to take care of evacuation of waste and all that, because it's capital intensive. We have to tell ourselves the truth. But if we do not care, you keep the market dirty, and you don't want government to complain. If they complain, you say, oh, it was caused by this, it is ethnic issue. I don't think that we should say those things, because they are not even meant to be shot in perpetuity. They are meant to be shot until such a time that we have addressed the problem. So,
I don't know. You know, people keep saying, well, I think Alaba market was involved, Ladipo market was involved lately, and people are ready minutes.
No, it's not about, you know, those markets. My 12 was also shut down recently, you know. And when the market was shut down, nobody brought any ethnic connotation to it, you know, and which we don't need to, you know, at this period. Because everything, people just want to take us back to politics. You know, it shouldn't be. When once you are wrong in terms of keeping your environment clean, just do the right thing. Don't say they want to punish you for trying to force you to do the right thing. You know, if I keep saying it, most Nigerians, I used to say it, we can't stay where rules and regulations are
difficult.
You know, once we put rules and regulations, I can bet you, Ayo, 60 to 80% of Nigerians will not be able to stay in that environment. So once we say don't throw dirt here, that is when everybody's bone, as they will say, everybody's bone will be strong to go and throw dirt there. That is why we keep having these floods in Lagos. People would have would drink Coca-Cola. They will throw the PET bottles inside the gutter.
The Honorable Commissioner is ready.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Tokunbo Wahab, are you there?
Thank you very much, sir. Sorry for the technology disruptions here and there. Okay. So BGC had a flooding issue for about 15 years because 3 houses chose to block the canal that will evacuate the water from VGC to the lagoon that is just behind for 15 years. So we went there 2 weeks ago on a Friday, and we did an assessment. We saw it, and it was not rocket science. All we had to do was enforce the law by saying, this nuisance blocking my canal, I want to clear it off. And that was what we did. By Sunday, we had opened up the canal that they couldn't do for 15 years. And today, VGC is happy for it. Now, let us go to Ikota. There are 12 villages around Ikota, 12 villages relocated from Morocco. They wrote the governor a petition that this area is now getting flooded on a yearly basis. And we asked questions, why? So 3 years ago, the ministry went there. They saw the nuisance and they told them we have to demolish. There was a drone shot of that pre-COVID period. The whole area was half green. So 4 weeks ago, we now had to go there. What we saw was heart-wrenching. We saw people build on canal. They closed a 10 meters canal into just a 2-meter drainage path. And we said to them, you had the notices before, we will issue you another notice and we shall enforce the law. And painfully, we had to do that. Doing that by opening up the canal paths for public good. And that was a video that was trending, that we went to Ikota to bring down houses. No, we went to remove nuisances on our drainage paths. So these are things that we had to do for public good. People know what they do when they chose to brazenly, the typical Nigerian way, do something that is unlawful and believing that they can get away with it without consequences. It's unfortunate that we have to do what we have to do. But for public good, we have to implement the law. Now, you spoke about markets. the state of our market the past 3, 4, 5 weeks was not something that we're happy about. We serve them notices also so that they have to clean up their environment. Markets are very critical for each and every one of us. I mentioned something about cholera outbreak or health hazard. The easiest place to kickstart it is in our marketplaces. What we saw around the market at Abule Egba, around Oyinbo Market, around Alaya Biagba, were things that we're not happy about. And after the notices expired, we had to enforce. We closed them down. We gave them a checklist of all they had to meet. Some of them within a week, we went there, we verified, and we opened. Even Ladipo markets, for about 2 weeks, were shut down because the filthiness around Ladipo was so bad that even their members were thanking the state government for coming in to intervene. So last week, at about this time last week, the famous Mile 12 market, dealing with perishable goods, we visited them some days before. We told them our concerns, but they thought the typical government way is a joke. We went there and we shut it down. And in fairness to them, within 48 hours, they worked around the clock. And we went on the weekend, I think on a Sunday, and we opened. The same thing applied. So when I hear people throw up the ethnic slant, I laugh because I don't see color, I don't see your tribe, I don't see your ethnicity. I see you as an individual. I see the law I must enforce, and I must enforce it with all sense of modesty, fairness, justice, and equity towards everybody. So when it was the time for Alaba International, there were served notices, but they failed to abate the nuisance. So on Sunday, we had to enforce, starting with the one, trade fair. And then between midnight of Sunday to Monday, we had to do the Alaba International Market. And I had people call me, threatening that the earth will be let loose. And I asked them, it's okay. So for me, we have to do this job and do it fairly and do it well. So it's fine.
Okay. There are so many people already reading ethnic meanings to Alaba and the trade fair market shut down, and even linking it to what transpired during the presidential election. How are you managing these sentiments that are being expressed over the work that you are doing?
Thank you very much, BKO. I don't see ethnicity. I can't even see it. I don't see color. I don't see religion. I don't see your creed. Have you committed an infraction against an existing law? Yes or no? Were you served notices to abate sale? Yes or no? So if you fail to comply and we enforce, and they chose to go the ethnic route, it's a typical dog whistle approach that doesn't work for some of us. We won't budge, we would still keep doing the right thing. BKO, let me ask this question, and I've asked some of them that had called. I said, when we shut down Oyinbo Market, did you play the ethnic card? No. My 12 market, did you play the ethnic card? No. Alaba Rago, you didn't play that ethnic card. Alaya Biagba Market, you didn't play the ethnic card. Tejosho, you didn't play that card. Abule Egba, you didn't play that card. Owode Onere, you didn't play that card. Oh, Alade Market, you failed to play that same card. But you think doing the dog whistle with that ethnic coloration and political talk will make people change their mind. That will not reverse the truth. All we have said to them, meet up the checklist, clean up your environment. You are not a super trader, for God's sake. You don't have two heads. Those in Oyingbo, Ladipo, Abiagba, Mile 12, they are just traders like you, doing commerce. And they complied. The moment we cherry pick enforcement out of fear of ethnic attack, then we've lost the battle. And we can't afford to do that on this mission.
Honorable Commissioner, how do you enforce the regulations without causing so much pain? You know that the Maitrep market is a market where perishable goods are sold, perishable products, agri-produce and the rest. During the last shutdown, many people, many trucks came into town expecting to offload farm produce and then leave immediately. A lot of those of the farm produce that they brought perished because you have to, they are not things that you can store for a long time. This naturally inflicts pain on people who have nothing to do with what's going on in Lagos. I mean, I engage a contractor, bring tomatoes from Kano for me, and then he gets here, he can't even, because the market is short, he can't even deliver what he was obligated to bring to Lagos. How do we do this, carry out this enforcement within as short time as possible without causing collateral damage, if I can use describe it as such?
Thank you very much, BKO. There are times in the course of enforcement, like I say in Yoruba, it's just unfortunate. And that was why I mentioned my trip that within 48 hours, they worked around the clock. I mean, around the clock, 24 hours of it. They cleaned up, did the undertaking, and they had to be opened. Because we were also very alert to the fact that these are perishable goods. But in all this, it's about the people taking ownership. You were served a notice, and you had time to clean up. You had at least 48 hours. The notice says, abate this nuisance within 48 hours. That's standard requirement. And you choose to say to yourself, they can't do anything. Don't worry. That is where we need to also change our orientation. Why must we be forced to do the right things? Why must we as a people believe that everything that we ought to do, they must force our hands to do them? It doesn't speak well of us. It doesn't. That of my 12 is quite unfortunate, and that was why I was glad that they were able to turn around things within 48 hours. And we didn't waste time to do that, to open them up. But let me also ask this question. If my 12, yes, for economic reasons, we failed to do the right thing, today, the dog whistling people or the dog whistlers will have called us out to say to us, but you are never gone to my 12 to shut them down because they are your supporters of your party. It's not beyond them.
Let's talk quickly about Lagos state government officials. There are people who say that
very important.
Officials in the Lands Bureau and other agencies of government that ought to ensure that some of these illegalities don't take place actually collude with developers, collude with land grabbers to infringe on the law. how do we deal with a situation like this? I remember Governor Bola Ahmed Tinubu back then as governor told me that skyscrapers were built on drainage channels. Yet, he knew it would be expensive to remove those skyscrapers. But they had approval. They got approval from the right source to build where they build. Why do we have this problem in Lagos? That officials who should enforce the law are just as reckless as illegal developers and the rest of them. Why do they continue to do these things?
BKO is just human greed. It's human greed. And I've said it to them, if anybody gives you an approval that is not sustainable or tenable, please, and we have come against you to enforce the law, do a petition to the governor, and the governor will push to the HOS and the Civil Service Commission to use that person as a scapegoat. Let me give you this teaser. Are you not asking questions that if actually they had approval at the Ikota, building on that canal part, they would have brought them forward by now? Fiscal planning went there. This new commissioner went there with essay. Have them notices that, okay, you know what? Let us even leave the canal. Bring the approvals. None has stepped forward to bring the approval. I was at ESCO on Monday when the commissioner mentioned it. So yes, we have our own internal issues, and the government needs to look inwards. I'm glad the HOS is doing that, the Civil Service Commission is doing that, the PNB is active and working, but people should bring the petitions forward. But most importantly, whatever is wrong is wrong. Whatever is illegal is illegal. It can't change to be legal. Illegality cannot vest you illegality. That's my own way of looking at it. And if anybody is culpable within my own circle, as a government, as an example, our people, with due respect, are very brazen in doing the wrong things. Nightclubs in Lekki will be blaring music. 11, 12, 1, 2, 3 a.m. And you tell them, turn it down to do your business. And they will say no. You seal. One or two of them removed the seal. Now, we took them to court and they were convicted. How would people wake up in the morning, decide to go and throw your garbage into the drainage? Yesterday was Tuesday. 26 of them were convicted by the environmental mobile court. 26 they were convicted. And I've said to them, every day we charge people arrested to court. Let the law take its course. So we are not just looking at the enforcement, we're also prosecuting them. We are prosecuting those involved. And if they are civil servants or public servants, kindly do the right thing. Do a petition to the governor. Let him forward it to the HOS and the Civil Service Commission.
So, Honorable Commissioner,
and you come and lead evidence.
Honorable Commissioner, in line with, sorry to butt in line with this same question by BKO, can you tell us the difference between the building plans and drainage plans? And who do we actually blame, when we have this issue before developing our property? Who do we blame, and what do we do about them?
Now, basically, the fiscal planning people give you building plan approval. However, the Ministry of Environment, the Office of Drainage Services will give you a permit for drainage permit. They call it drainage permit. That permit actually will have taken cognizance of the whole layout. Look at the setback to the canal or the secondary collector from your drawing, from your fence. Once you are in order, they will issue the certificate. But most people deliberately, yesterday we met with residents from Ikoyi. For your information, the State House is perpetually flooded. So for the past 3 weeks, we've been on it. And we found out the barracks behind, Jordan Barracks, they had built to block the water path. And that canal ought to have taken the water through Jordan Barracks, Norman William, Awolowo Road to the lagoon, to 5 Cowrie River. Unfortunately, it's been blocked. So we served all of them notices, including the soldiers. and they were the first to comply.
Okay.
We are evacuating. The generals, we are evacuating the barracks now, and we shall do demolition there. Now, those that are outside the barracks, Norman Williams corridor, they came for a meeting. We showed them the drone shot, and they all agreed. All we said to them was, I must have my setback to evacuate this canal. This place is flooding. And they agreed. I just want 2 meters. I won't even do 3 meters. It's fully built up. I'll do 2 meters. So I can evacuate the canal. It's about interministerial collaboration. If you have your building plan, you should ensure you go to Ministry of Environment. The office is there. Show them your plan. They will give you the requisite drainage permit. That covers you. And we also hope you won't go and extend your wall into the permits given to you, the space given to you. So let us talk to our people.
Okay, Commissioner. Let's move a little bit faster because we are running out of time.
I'm joining them now.
So, like the ministry now, your ministry, what is your ministry doing about land reclamation, expansion in Lagos? Because people are really talking about that. So, what is your ministry doing about that?
My colleague in EXCO and my brother, MHR, Mr. Dayo Bush, is the one in charge of waterfront. Where we come in is when you want to go and touch on the wetland. Wetland, you can't build on wetland, you can't reclaim on wetland. So that is our own area. We push back and say, no approval for this. But if it's reclamation, then my colleague in ESCO, Honorable Dayo Alebiosu, MHR, is the one directly in charge of that. And I can't speak so much into it or about it.
Now let's talk about.
But also, it's been enforcing in the past few weeks. It's been shutting down a lot of illegal training people and stuff, illegal dredging companies and activities across the state.
All right, Honorable Commissioner, let's talk about flooding. What is the situation with Lagos now?
No, fine. I was at the Sherry Knot today. I was there with the SA on environment and the 2 permanent secretaries. What we saw was not good enough. However, we have said to ourselves, this cannot be done by Lagos State. We have to collaborate with Ondo State fully and then get the federal government involved. And I'm glad when I heard afterwards that the Ondo State governor was there with the Minister for Environment to look at the level of damage. And I believe when it's time to have the conversation, my governor will be on the table. Because people actually built on lowland. You can't build on lowland, you can't. And that is the effect. Also, global warming is real. But we can't speak about those semantics now. Let us fix the problem and fix it collaboratively.
I want you to tell us the part of Lagos that is usually flooded whenever the water is released from your dam in Ogun State, and how are the two states collaborating to minimize the impact of such exercise?
We're collaborating very well, and we're also thankful that the Ogun River Basin Authority has been very cooperative with us. They give us enough notices before they release the water from the dam. But this time around, I don't think it's the dam that is flooding Lagos and Ogun. It's the rain between September and October 15. The volume of water was so much because at the dam level, they only opened 2 of the levers. 2 are still holding the water. So you can now imagine if it had not been that way. But as a state, we are working so well with Ogun State. And I believe jointly and with the support of the federal government, we should be able to find a lasting solution to the challenges we are having around the Sherry North axis of Lagos and Ogun.
Are people being resettled now? Because it's almost a yearly affair now for our people in Agility,
Sherry,
all these places. Even the other side of the expressway, one side of the Lagos-Badon expressway is always flooded around the abattoir.
Kara.
Are people being resettled?
I think for people, most of our people, with due respect to them, are so attached to their homes and their properties. They have this mindset that, okay, it always comes, spend 2 weeks, we'll go back there. But we can't continue on that trajectory. So the advocacy is, you know what, let us locate you. Let us regenerate this area. And I believe it's an ongoing conversation. Until that is fully done, and getting them to buy into it, we'll not be able to do what we ought to do.
I want to thank you,
very
Honorable
good
Commissioner
site.
for Environment. I want to
Thank you very much, Ayo. Thank you very much, BPO.
you.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
sure we are still going to.
Yes, I'm sure you'll be back.
Invite you.
I'm sure we'll
Always available.
Because
Yes.
we have a lot, you know.
Yes.
There are
That's how
still
we're-
other issues we can talk about.
We are going to bring our live equipment to your office. We are not going to do Zoom with you so that the technology will not fail
that'll be
us.
fine.
I was in touch
That'll
with
be
Kunle
fine.
earlier. Yes, we don't want technology to fail us. You know, next
That'll
time.
be fine, sir.
Yes.
Do you understand?
The
So
live view.
the live view
much
will
more
allow our
reliable.
audience to be able
Enjoy,
to
yeah.
get everything.
Get everything.
That's fine, sir.
So
Good.
That's fine by me, sir.
thank
Thank
you
you very much,
Chukwubo
sir.
Wahab. I
Appreciate
wish you
you,
the best
sir.
of luck.
Yes.
The new Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources in Lagos State. Lagos State is very, very. When you have this kind of portfolio in Lagos State, you have your
It's a
Hands
thankless,
full. Oh.
it's a thankless job.
because there will always be flooding.
And I like the way you address the issue of ethnicity. Because if you didn't say that about Mile 12, for example, largely Hausa Fulani dominated, you know, we just have to do what is right. Peddling ethnicity will
That's
not
not
help.
the way.
Let's do what is right.
That's,
Be
not
on the right
that's-
side of the law. That is what matters. Your house won't be under threat of demolition. We need to stop all this needless pandering to ethnicity.
And it's very courageous because for you to take this kind of job and not look at anybody's face and bringing people's houses down, it takes
Some of them are
courage.
complaining that, oh, they didn't even allow
It
us
takes
to
courage.
pick our belongings.
Exactly,
Oh,
it
you
takes
have
courage.
a long notice. Yes,
Yeah,
we are ready.
judgment.
We are ready
We're going to
to.
be there in the morning. So by this time, hopefully, if we are true,
Everything would have been done, you know.
we'll be here on Journalist Hangout.
Yes, I'm sure that they may even give the reason on a later date. That's what Supreme Court does most times.
So-
Because they have to give judgment within the time frame.
Yeah.
So they can now write
explanation.
an expanded
Later.
judgment later.
Asuko James, I want to thank you. BKO, we are going to be here tomorrow. And
Yes.
we're going to do a postmortem
Of course,
that
of course. Nigerians can expect that.
judgment.
Nigerians
We are all
can expect
expecting.
that.
We are all expectant.
That's our job.
That judgment, and for days we are going to be on it.
Yes.
For the verdict of the Supreme Court and how it affects the Labour Party and how it affects the People's Democratic Party and how the APC ultimately. And that's our package today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of Journalist Hangout. You can watch the repeat broadcast this evening by 11 p.m. Join us this Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for Journalist Hangout on Sunday. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Ozuba. See you tomorrow.
Africa's Creative Market is here again. Yes, the biggest gathering of African and international creative industry professionals is back. First in Lagos, November 2023, and in Dubai, March 2024. Come join thousands of creative professionals as they gather with their counterparts for trainings, workshops, masterclasses, conferences, fashion shows, networking, and a mega music concert featuring some of Nigeria's biggest acts and many more from Thursday, November 2nd to Wednesday, November 8th, 2023. The Dubai event runs from March 5th to March 9th, 2024. Register to be a delegate and get the full event schedule on www.africacreativemarketglobal.com. Call the ACM team on 080-611-80294 to book an exhibition booth and call 0703-623-0247 or 0809-367-7272 for sponsorship and advert bookings. Be there.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. Are you worried about the safety and security of your home at night? Do you wish to know when intruders come close to your home? Or do you want to protect what matters to your family from anywhere at any time? What if there was a convenient, affordable way to keep surveillance in your home without having to worry about wires, installations, or heavy light bills? Introducing the incredible Sidebulb HD Cam.